Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, it was a Legislative Council election for the history books, and just moments ago, the winner of the Windermere seat was declared. To talk us through the developments, we're joined by reporter Garth Burley. Hello, Garth. Now, who has taken out that seat? We know it's Nick Duigan, of course.
Yeah, Kim, the Electoral Commission has just confirmed that, as we know, Liberal Nick Duigan has won the seat of Windermere. He was one of 3 frontrunners gunning for the upper house seat, including Labor's Jeff Lyons and Independent Will Smith. After preferences were carved up, Nick Duigan's resounding victory was confirmed. We already know the results of the other 2 Legislative Council seats. Labor's Craig Farrell was re-elected in Derwent, and Independent Mike Gaffney is back after running unopposed in Mersey. Now, one changed seat might not seem like much, but that could make all the difference when it comes down to crucial votes in the House. Kim?
Okay, thank you very much, Garth Burley. Now, in the state election, counting is still underway to determine just how our lower house will look, with preference votes being distributed from today. Meg Sides joins us now to explain the process. Good evening to you, Meg. Any updates on who has secured a seat?
Well, Kim, those preferences are still being distributed, but we do have some information around who has officially been elected from today. Some MPs, like Premier Peter Gutwein, got in on their own votes, while others just got pulled across the line. We spoke to Tasmania's Electoral Commissioner Andrew Hawkey a short time ago, and I asked about what we know after today's count.
So at the start of the day, the surpluses were thrown for each of those elected, and Courtney's also become elected in Bass from the Gutwein surpluses. In Braddon, we see a tight race there between Ellis and Yench, with Rockcliffe's surplus bringing Yench right up into the game there. So we need still to know who's going to win that 3rd seat for Liberals in Braddon.
And looking down to Clark now, it's been a tight race between those 2 Liberal candidates and the 2 independents. What do we know after today?
So about 9, maybe even 10 exclusions have occurred in Clark, and what we see is that the 2 independents are actually slightly not only maintaining but extending their lead, and so they're certainly still in the race.
Now, Kim, we're not expecting to know the full lineup until the end of the week, and some of those closer seats we might not have a result in until around Thursday or Friday.
And the ex-lover of alleged killer Jack Sadler has today been grilled in the Launceston Supreme Court, accused of repeatedly lying to police in the days following the death of Jake Anderson Bretner. Gemma Clark says she was fearful her family would be hurt if she didn't comply with her boyfriend's demands. And a warning, some people may find this story distressing.
She was once Jack Sadler's starry-eyed partner. Now Gemma Clark is the prosecution's star witness in his murder trial, recalling how she was scared of distancing herself from the crime. If I disappeared, he could have done anything. He could have hurt my dog. He could have hurt my family. For a second straight day, the 27-year-old took the stand at the Launceston Supreme Court, describing her role in the alleged cover-up she claims was ordered by the man she loved. Jack got me to fill a bath with hot water and bleach, and we just cleaned the house, she said. Miss Clark previously told the court how the accused told her to purchase plastic sheets, disposable gloves, a saw and overalls. However, the defence argued those products were used readily around the house, and the bleach was used to process seeds for their birds. Prior to August, had you purchased bleach for use at Dion Crescent? Yes, she replied. Had you purchased gloves? Multiple times. The court was also read a letter sent to Jack Sadler by his then-girlfriend while both were in prison. I won't stop loving you. Our family is still possible, just not right now, it said. When quizzed on this, Miss Clark said it was all a lie to hide the fact she was cooperating with police. She is currently serving a 5.5-year jail sentence for failing to report a killing and being an accessory after the fact to the murder of Jake Anderson Bretner. However, her time on the stand is now over. Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
The Hobart City Council will no longer run the Taste of Tasmania, now cancelled for the 2nd year in a row. While the festival's future remains uncertain, stall holders are optimistic it will return bigger and better than ever.
Over the past 3 decades, the Taste of Tasmania has become an iconic event. And Fred Peacock has attended every year.
It really is a unique event in Australia, and folks that we've talked to that have come in from the mainland and from overseas, they just can't believe there's an event like this in Tasmania.
But the Hobart City Council has voted to pull the pin and will no longer exclusively run the festival.
There's time to have some renewal. The taste has been a fantastic success. Council has run it for 30 years, but now it's time to share the load.
Last year it was a COVID casualty. Now it's been cancelled for the second year in a row.
The taste has been such a critical part of the members and producers' income that gets them through the winter. So, and it's such a shame not to have that marquee event based around, the Sydney's and Hobart.
The council will remain a partner and help with the transition, but it's a decision that's been a long time coming.
I hope that a group of stall holders can work together with an event organiser and that we can contribute our expertise and assistance.
John Kerr is responsible for the festival's famous tempura mushrooms and vegetables. He would like to see the event expand right across the waterfront.
It is an option to allow it to spread away from the shed. The shed is sort of is trapped it. It's been rather like a belt that's got too tight.
Others looking to the success of Festivali and the Winter Feast as ticketed events.
There'll be a bit of noise about people concerned about paying, but I believe those models have worked. And if you look at the crowds that are generated by the Winter Feast, we know that people are absolutely happy and prepared to pay that fee.
Despite the festival's cancellation this year, the council is still hoping to see 2021 out with a bang, considering smaller events to draw crowds to the waterfront. Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
One of the Tasmania Fire Service's longest-serving officers is hanging up the helmet, extinguishing 37 years of duty, many of those as officer in charge. Roger Whittle started in the days of split-cab trucks and formal uniforms, yet one harrowing memory has stayed with him since those early days.
Attention Launceston Station.
Roger Whittle can soon read the paper in peace. Today he rushed from a cosy tea room to a cauldron of fire for the final time, saying bye-bye-bye to the PPE after nearly 4 decades of duty.
The mateship is the thing you're going to miss the most.
But few of those mates can match his 4,500 call-outs, most of those as leading officer. Even as the crew jumped to the front line again today,
So Whittle responding.
Roger's among the rare breed which once had to wear a formal shirt, tie and hat between jobs.
So quite often people are going up to get the morning teas with their cap on. As soon as they get out of sight, the cap goes under the arm, and then when walking back along the street, you put the cap back on. So we've got caught out a few times.
Often Roger's work isn't glamorous. A devastating blaze condemning 8,000 chickens in Coroola remains embedded in Roger's mind, along with a frightening facet to a routine structure fire in his junior days.
And I found a pram under a stairwell, and it had something was in it, and I thought in my mind there was a baby. It was a rolled up blanket, and that played on my mind for a very long time.
No matter the horror, the brigade's close bond remains. Now they toast their long-time friend in the field.
And hopefully about 1 minute past 6 I might crack a can.
Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
A crash on the outskirts of Launceston caused traffic chaos for morning commuters. Cars were left banked up as emergency services swarmed to the incident on the Midland highway around 8:30. One lane of the busy road was blocked for around an hour while crews cleared the scene. One person was taken to the Launceston General Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
The Hawks and the Roos will be well acquainted going into Saturday's game in Launceston. In 2 unusual moves, the teams will be sharing the same plane to Tasmania and will fly down on the morning of the game. Hawthorn's Tom Mitchell is aware of pressure on the Kangaroos to perform.
We don't shy away from the fact that they obviously really want to get a win on the board, but we're no different. We need a win too. So both teams will be pretty desperate, I think.
Hawthorn's last win came against the Crows in Launceston 3 weeks ago, and if selected, North Melbourne's Taron Thomas will play his first game for premiership points in his hometown of Launceston on Saturday. Representative football returns this weekend with the Southern Football League heading to Ulverston to play the Northwest. The SFL has assigned former Glenorchy and Kingborough coach Adam Henley to lead its team. The fact he isn't affiliated with any SFL clubs was a big part of why he was chosen.
I think most sides will be represented, but yeah, the Huonvilles, the Cygnets of the world, probably the top two sides are well represented.
The Northwest had the SFL's measure in recent outings, winning by 24 points in 2015 and 88 points in 2017. One of Tasmanian hockey's most successful local players has returned to the field by scoring the winning goal. Canterbury midfielder and new mum, Hannah Richardson, was the difference against University, flicking home the sole score of the match. She admits there were nerves after missing all of last season.
I still wouldn't say I'm quite back to my elite level yet, but I'm certainly working to get there.
In the men's, Diamondbacks produced one of the biggest upsets of the season, beating Northwest Grads 4-0. Injured veteran Stuart Smith might have trouble getting back into the team.
That's the talk around the group. Like, I can't be coming back through reserves at this stage, I think. So, but I'm stoked to be in that position where I will have to earn my spot back.
OHA and Canterbury were the other winners in the men's. Northwest and OHA had success in the women's. The grass track series on the Northwest Coast has resumed, with Jonty Reinders winning King of the Paddock. There were a few spills in the side-by-sides. Dean Hansen claimed the win ahead of Matt Riley and Julian Wall on the track inland from Burnie. In the juniors, Mitch Dolby and Tate Young won 2 classes on the bike.
Good evening. Our very meagre maximum today was 14 on Flinders Island after Lyoweeney dropped to minus 4.5 overnight. Hobart 11, the northern centres all sat on 13 degrees. Temperatures between 4 and 7 below average. Smithton, Lowhead and Friendly Beaches 13. King Island, Bushy Park and Strawn 12. Grove 10. Lyoweeney did warm right up to a top of 2. Clear skies over the central west, southwest and parts of the central north, bit of cumulus cloud elsewhere. Cloud extended over southeast Australia with a smattering over Queensland. Mostly cloud-free for the rest of the nation. There is a frontal cloud band to the west and south of WA. Tomorrow, the high over South Australia extends to another one east of Tasmania. Weak troughs over the eastern states. Winds east-southeasterly over the north. They'll tend northeasterly in the afternoon though. North to northeasterlies elsewhere at 15 to 25 knots, particularly down the west coast. Strong wind warning in the west from southeast Cape to Sandy Cape. A severe frost warning for the upper Derwent Valley and a normal everyday frost warning for the central north, Midlands and southeast. Another cool night ahead, partly cloudy for Hobart, 16 the top, -1 for Geeveston, 15 the high, -3 for Bothwell, 14 the top. Launceston expecting another cool night, 1 overnight, 16 the maximum. Partly cloudy tomorrow, a shower or 2 for Devonport late in the day, 15 and 15 the high for Cressy. Burnie expecting 15 as well, 16 for Strawn, partly cloudy on King Island, Curry 16 degrees. We have 16 for St Helens with a shower developing, cloudy for Swansea 16 and also 16 for Orford. On Thursday, showers over the north and west increasing and extending statewide but light over the east coast, snow to 800 metres. Friday, fine and partly cloudy for the east but a few more showers elsewhere and snow to 500 metres, temperatures not expected to pass 14. And on Saturday even colder as showers contract to the west and south in the afternoon. A possible shower in Perth, sunny for Adelaide and Melbourne, a shower over Sydney, a possible storm in Brisbane. Partly cloudy and 10 in Hobart, 9 right now in Launceston and clear in Devonport, a cool 8 degrees. A couple of cool days coming our way, Kim. The way that's going, I'm going to have to escape for a couple of months, I reckon.
Oh, getting in that he's heading off on holidays at the end of this week. Not fair. That's all we have time for tonight. Have a great evening, and just a reminder, full budget details will be in the latest just after 10 o'clock tonight. For now, goodbye.